Hello and welcome to Makerfield South. Today we're going to focus on the installation of ID Backscenes, and we'll also be going on a little layout tour. This video was actually filmed in the summer of 2020. I know it has actually moved on since then. However, I'll be releasing a video in the coming weeks showing the work that took place during the winter months. If you do like what you see, then please give it a thumbs up, and also use the subscribe link, which should be appearing somewhere down there. Remember to switch on notifications to keep up to date with the new releases, particularly that release around the updated layout, and just showing you the position as of Christmas 2020. Right then, let's go. Today we're going to spend a bit of time investing in upgrading the backboards. We're going to use a ID Backscenes product, but before we do that, I thought first of all I'll give you a quick tour of the layout itself. So Makerfield South is a fictional layout based sort of transition time mid-60s, and that's simply because I like diesel, I like steam. So quick overview. It's a loft layout, traditional loft layout. It's a low loft, doesn't really get in the way. I'm 6'2", I can comfortably work up here. The layout itself is a loop layout, so runs the full length of the loft, roughly 4.5 meters by 3 meters by another 4.5 meters, and my working desk that sits at one end of the layout. A couple of things that get in the way. Clearly you can see boiler. I've had to cut out some of the back end of the layout just to get around the boiler. Solar panel, doodah thing there that I've also got to do some work around. As you can see, I've already pre-fitted the backboards. I've gone roughly 12 inches high on the backboards, as that's where it meets the roof of the layout. It's just simple painted plasterboard. Did this whilst in lockdown, so I thought I'd put all the work on the layout on hold at the moment whilst I did that piece. For anybody who's watched the previous videos around the DCC concepts point motors, this is the point that it fires, that one and that one down there. The layout itself is actually 2 layers. This is what you're seeing at the moment is the base layer, so this is going to be a series of sidings and storage areas that sit under what will be a main station area that's going to sit about 10 centimeters above, sort of there. So I've got a nice bit of side stelling underneath. Then there's going to be 2 transition areas. So there's a transition area here, which will see the bottom loop transition up to the 10 centimeter level, which will service the station at this side, and then there'll be a branch line coming out the station which is going to incline again to about 15 centimeters, and it's going to sit on this side, where we'll have a TMD of some description, maybe a roundhouse. I haven't decided on that yet, but that's for now. So at the moment we're going to concentrate on backboards. Right, so backboards, I've done quite a bit of work on the internet, just sort of browsing YouTube, and I've decided to go with a mixture of different solutions on this. So I've used 2, I think it's 4 milliply, simply because I had a couple of sheets of that lying around, so it made sense to cut that to size. So I cut that down to the standard sort of 12 inches. You can see screw holes on it. Initially screwed it to the frame itself, purely to hold it while it gathered its shape, and after about a month or two it was quite comfortable. So all the curves and bends pretty much stay now when I take the boards back out the layout. Obviously, because I'm sticking on a ID scenes back scene onto these, I didn't want the screws in the end product. So then I took an idea straight from Richard over at Everard Junction, which is effectively Velcro strips. So the backboards are now totally removable. You can see with these, I've had to staple the Velcro strips, so they were stuck on with their own sticky back. but they kept coming off when I pulled the backboards off, so stapled them on, and now that is no longer a problem. And it gives me all the opportunity to adjust the backboards themselves to make sure that everything aligns. So that's the plan for today. I'm not going to watch or make you watch whilst I do the entire layout. What I will do, I will take this 5-foot section off, which is the first backboard that I'm going to be putting on, and I'll take you through how I will apply that backboard or back scene. Hopefully, if anybody else is contemplating doing this, it might be a help to them. Okay, I'll be back in a moment. So let's have a go. As I did say to you, I'm using the ID Backscenes product. I have opted for the village range, given that I want a semi-rural type setting for my layout. I know I was quite limited because the layout is so long and the backboards run all the way around. I needed a good, well, good about 10, 12, 13 metres of backscene, and a lot of the products that ID Backscenes do come to 2 tubes, and in each tube you get 1.5 metres twice, so you get 3 metres per tube, and obviously 2 tubes gives you 6 metres. I needed a bit more than that, so it was the village, or they do one called Into the Town. When I say I wanted the more rural setting. What I have gone for on this one is I have gone for, so you can see that on camera, the premium range. They do 2 ranges, small difference in price, but big difference in products. So the standard range is, I think it's printed on heavy paper, so about 180 GSM, and then you paste or effectively apply it like wallpaper, and paste that to the backboards themselves, or directly to the wall, whichever is your preference. This is a slightly different product. This is printed on it says scratch, printed on water, scratch and tear resistant propylene. So I'm hoping it's going to be a tougher product, and it's self-adhesive. So a lot of the videos I've seen online at the moment are people applying these using PVA glue, or that type of product. I'm not going to go down that route. I'm actually going to use some of the you're going to use the self-adhesive properties of these and apply them directly to the backboards themselves. Benefits of using ply is, and I didn't know this was just purely fortuitous. When I've opened these up, the instructions do say that the actual glue on that's applied to this product itself doesn't work too well with a PVA type product. So, you know, if I'd have gone ahead and treated these with PVA just to give them a little bit more durability, then I would have had a problem. And stuff like chipboard, MDF again, which contains PVA as part of the makeup, again would probably not prove too well. So that's the product that we're putting on. That's the backboard that we put on, and I've taken it from that corner over there. Now, fortunately, I've cut this to exactly 5 foot, so I've had this product open. I've cut this to 5 foot, so I know that this is the actual length of one of these back scenes. A couple of things that we're going to need. We're going to need our trusty scalpel, hobby knife with a new blade, or very, very fresh blade at least, just to trim off any excess. Paintbrush, a clean paintbrush, as you can see, just to smooth away any bubbles. I'm going to use a handful of these clips, and this is just I want to test fit the back seat to this piece of wood before I actually go ahead and take the backing off and let everything stick. And that's pretty much it. So relatively straightforward job. So let's open the pack itself. And straight away, as I did say, you get 2 very high quality back scenes, one behind the other. The back scenes themselves actually come with, you can see it, they come with an actual border all around it. Before you apply the actual back scene, you're going to need to cut the border off, which I have done in this example. So, I said I've already opened this one out, so let me show you what we have. Roll those 2 back up. This is the second part. So So I'll pop that to one side with the box, and this is the back scene that we're going to be working on. It's a very very picturesque, very countryside. Which is exactly what I was looking for. Right, a couple of things to note on this. The challenge will always be, I'm going to be setting down about 12 metres worth of back scene. As you can see from the tour of the layout at the start of the video, the back scenes themselves are all in pieces. A, because I need to be able to take stuff out and move stuff around, and then B, because we probably will end up moving at some point, and I want to be able to take this layout with me as complete as possible, so the back scenes I can just peel off and take them away. The one thing I have ensured is that the base of the actual backboards is consistent all the way around. So if you actually look around the entire layout, the base lines up, every backboard lines up at the base, and once you've been around the entire 12 metres of layout, when it gets back to the same corner, it still lines up. So I know that I've got a good straight edge that I can work with to apply a consistent back scene, and then my only challenge will then be is making sure that all the ends join. So, as I said to you before, I've now cut this board and I've cut this back scene to be exact, and I'm actually going to leave the white border at the bottom. You won't see it once there's a bit of scenery applied to the layout itself. Shouldn't really have any impact whatsoever, and actually what it does, only by about 5mm, but it lifts the foliage a little bit further into the back scene itself. Right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to make use of some of these clips. So as I said to you, what I want to do there is a test fit. So I'm just going to make sure that's fully aligned in the corner there. Got that. Make sure that's fully aligned in the corner there. Got that. And then just move these out of the way. Do exactly the same at that end there. So let's see, actually, there you go. Do exactly the same there. So as you can see now, I have got straight fitted. I've got a nice straight edge down there. Effectively, that's exactly how I wanted it. Right, first job then is trim this to size. So as you can see, when I flip this over, these are 15-inch back scenes, and I have a 12-inch board. So the first job that I'm going to have to do is effectively use my blade and the back scene as a guide, just to trim away the excess. Now, the good thing about doing this as well is the excess that we're trimming away is effectively cloud. So if I want to use that excess anywhere else, let's say you see my the roof of my loft, and you can actually see that it's painted white, so there's no reason why I couldn't use the excess and stick it directly to the roof and have effectively an extension of the layout in the form of sky. Right, there we go. So put my cover back on that. Make sure there's any odd bits like you there. Get rid of that. Hopefully you can see just a big clear roll of sky. What I will do is I will mark that up as soon as we're done. In fact, no, I will do it now. I'll just mark it up as roll number 1, just so that when I've got 8 bits of rolled up sky, I do know which backboard they correspond with. Now then, here we have it. Now we have a back scene. Just let me quickly adjust this, but effectively matches up perfectly. So now the challenge is to stick this bad boy down. So a couple of different ways to do it. There's a couple of YouTube videos online that show people taking this section here, and again let me stick some clips on there just to line this up. So there's a couple of videos out there that show people sticking double-sided tape there. Stick this bit down and then just slowly unrolling. Nothing wrong with that at all. It's a perfectly good way to do it. But like I said to you, I think this is the premium brand. It's got its own sticky back element to it. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to use that to my advantage. So what I will do is take that off, peel it back, and then I'm going to actually apply the sticky back itself instead of double tape. Just stick that down. So there you go, first one down. Now we've got to start. So what I can do is effectively roll this way. There we go. Now we are back to our starting, and really now it is just a case of as I go along, roll it out, use my brush to smooth it all down, and probably take, I don't know, 6-9 inches at a time. Fiddly product, but and just make sure that fitting wise, this is exactly what I want now. I was going to say you could probably do with a pair of scissors just to keep trimming that off. Scalpel's lead will do. Job done. And all we're going to do then is apply this. And as I said, my straight edge is my bottom edge, so as I peel this back and stick it down, I'll just make sure that my bottom edge remains true. Now, there's a little problem, because what's actually happened is the back sheet has torn slightly, so it's not giving me a full coverage. But peel it back again. It's pretty nice stuff to work with. It's actually, obviously, you know that you're not going to tear the print itself, because it's pretty sturdy stuff. So you can peel it back. If you need to, and take away, as I say, that roll bit of there. Just one to keep an eye out for, I suppose. It's probably just the angle that I'm actually pulling it across at. But so get rid of that. That's you done, and then final bit of fitting. That's me on. So let us brush you down. And there we have one ID Backscenes fitted. A couple of small adjustments up here. It's over slightly. Get rid of that rubbish down there. as you can see, I think you'll agree, that not only looks pretty good, but it was bloody easy to do. Right, I shall get this one out of the way, and then I will show you how I plan to do the next section, which, because of the layout of the room and some of the adjustments I've had to make to the back scenes to allow them to fit around certain parts of the loft space, is only about a 80cm section. So I'll show you how to join this up, and then how to trim my little piece off to make sure it fits nicely. Right, okay, I shall be right back. Right, so here we are again. This is the next section, which will effectively marry up to, let me bring this bad boy back in, will effectively marry up to that section there, and continue the back scene running around the layout. So let me put that down. Let us grab the second piece of back scene. Right, so straight away it'll become quite obvious that this is a 5-foot back scene, and this is a small piece of board. So straight away I'm only going to need effectively this section here. But again, what I'm going to do is, as with last time, test fit. So first things first, using my bottom as a straight edge again. What I can do is I can make sure that we've got a straight there. I can grab trusty steel ruler, and I can make sure we have a good straight edge there, which we do, and then I can effectively trim this piece of paper along here. So let's do that, shall we? First thing I'm going to take out, as I mentioned, the actual backing itself comes with a slight margin on it, so let's take that margin off. I shouldn't really cut direct on the table, but it's pretty soft plastic. I'm sure my wife will kill me. So what we have then is like that. That should now marry up perfectly well. So we'll do exactly the same as we did last time. We'll apply the clips. So we know that we've got a good edge. You could actually just put a little bit of loose masking tape over there, do exactly the same job. So it's pretty sturdy stuff, so it's not going to, or very unlikely to tear, I should say. Never say never. Roll that out and flip it. You'll see as well that I'm actually using the, I'm test fitting on the correct side. I just want to make sure that if there is anything moving slightly out, it doesn't skew the cutting it out. Okay, let's get you again, just double check this is all aligned down there, check the bottom's aligned down there. Where's you off? There we go. Let's take the top as well. Put that to one side because that will fit again on the next large section. Throw a couple of clamps on again just to make sure that everything's nicely aligned. Flip that over again. Yeah, looking pretty good. Looking pretty good. Happy with that. Happy with that. Good join. There and there, and then let's use our scalpel on the back edge. As before, let's call it roll 2, part 1. Whoa, that's my scarf. And then we follow exactly the same process. I think the only difference this time around, I'm going to do it from this side, because now this is the bit that I'm going to sort of match up perfectly. Again, I'll clamp slightly, just to make sure everything is sturdy. Exactly the same as I did, so using the sticky back itself, fold that under, give yourself a good clean edge. Now, the only thing I'm going to do with this one before I do roll it out is just test fit against the one that we did earlier, to make sure that we do have indeed perfect alignment. You probably can't see that, but trust me, it's pretty bang on. Okay, happy with that. Right, like this, I'll roll back on itself as we did before, and taking out a section at a time, using my bottom as the straight edge. Again. It's not fitted. Right, let's just make sure we've got no bubbles and creases. Working away from the centre. For anybody who's wallpapered before, this is actually very familiar. So working away from the centre, there we go. That is another section completed. Just offer that up there so you can see. Right, what I'll do now, I'll just offer these two sections back. In fact, I'll just fix them back up so that you can see exactly how that works and how they look on the actual layout themselves. Right, be right back. Right, so now you can see reattach using the Velcro strips. Much nicer finish. You can see the join there. I'm not going to get away from the fact that there is a join, never will. But once I just put a little bit of scenery up around there, and as I said, there's going to be a 15cm level about there-ish, with a TMD of some description on it. So again, and as I said, I may use some of that sky at some point to fill in that space up there. Okay, and then just running that round, you can see where it ends, and then clearly the rest of the work that I've got to do. So thank you for your time watching this. I hope it will be useful to somebody. If it isn't, you're not wasting any time watching it. But yeah, please take time to leave me some comments. This is my second video. Last time round I forgot to mention to please subscribe, please leave some comments, give me some feedback. Do you like the content that I'm starting to post? Do you want to see more videos as the layout progresses and grows? As I say, it's a labour of love. It's never going to be completed, what layout ever is. But yeah, I'm more than happy to share the journey as we go along. Okay, thank you for your time, and like I say, please subscribe, please like, and please come back when I add further videos. Take care.